Well, it's been a long time coming, but once again, we are back here on the original Disney 101 YouTube page. What is going on out there, world? It's your boy Tommy on the spot, and I am joined, as always, by my main man, Steve. Steve, how are you doing?
I have had to resist the urge to say this every single time we've done one of the wrestling podcasts because it obviously wouldn't fit. But you know me, I'm magical as always.
It feels good. It feels good to hear it. We have been away here on the Disney Channel here for a little while, but it's great to be back here. We have tons of things that we want to talk about here. Most of which will be related, of course, to the world, but some of it will be related to theme parks and some adventures and vacations and everything else in between. I'm really excited. I think it's great to be back, and we've been thinking about doing this for a while, but yesterday Steve did go back for the first time to the Magic Kingdom, and we thought, what better way to do this than to get on here, talk about what he did there, some of the ins and outs, and then take it from there.
Yeah. So it's funny because we have gone to Epcot a couple of times, and actually Animal Kingdom as well, throughout the last couple of years. But I was thinking about it, and that was the first time that we had been back to the Magic Kingdom in over 2 years.
Wow.
And I mentioned this to my wife Amanda, and she was like, no, we've definitely been back before. And I was like, all right, well, quarantine and everything happened in like March of 2020, but we still probably hadn't been back to Magic Kingdom maybe until like before the Halloween party of 2019,
which
would have been about now. So yeah, so it was about 2 years.
Yeah.
Good to see that a lot of things are getting back to normal, including the crowds, for better or for worse.
Right.
But overall, it was a good time.
Yeah, I think that the last time I was there was also the Halloween party when we went with you guys in 2019. And that was a great time. A lot of fun. But one of the things I'll always think back to when it comes to thinking about the Magic Kingdom here is, I guess my first question would be, did they have meet and greets this time around, or were the characters out and about?
So they had some characters that were out and about that you couldn't meet. Yeah. So they had there's like a little trolley cavalcade that'll come down Main Street and kind of go around into the hub, which is right in front of the castle, and kind of go from there. And that had all of the Winnie the Pooh characters.
Oh, wow. So you had
on it. So, and I think they do similar things throughout the day. They did the similar thing in Epcot, where it was a bunch of the princesses would go around the World Showcase.
Okay.
In a similar kind of horse-drawn trolley type of situation. But they didn't really have too many characters that you could meet and greet.
Now, do they have, because I know, I think they do have the meet and greet now with, is it Oogie?
Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie? Yeah. I always wonder if he's Boogie Oogie or Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie, yeah.
Literally staring at Oogie Boogie right here off. I don't want to get his name wrong. I don't want to, set him off. But he had, so I know you can meet him and be there with him.
I think that's a kind of Halloween party exclusive.
So. We're starting to, I think the whole hope, I'm pretty sure with this 50th anniversary, as I keep seeing 100 commercials that get me going absolutely crazy, because my daughter's become absolutely, her favorite thing in the world to watch is the shows from theme parks, and like loves to watch them and act as if, well, I don't think she's acting. I think in her mind, when they're waving to her, she's legit waving, hi Mickey, doing all that. I mean, she's one too, so but yeah, every time on YouTube they keep giving commercial breaks for the 50th anniversary. The other day I got her we had gotten a Happy Meal toy from McDonald's because I've kind of become close with them there. So I go there, I get a coffee any size, they give me the Happy Meal toy. The toys for the 50th anniversary are just awesome. And I think that so I think that is just a lot of fun, and I think clearly that's what the goal would be, to have some of these meet and greets here for the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the dinners now and the character dinners, whatever that is, I think that is something that they do allow that, right?
I think they do. So when we went to Magic Kingdom, we were on the monorail and we passed by Chef Mickey's, but I didn't see any characters. They could have been taking a break, or they could have just been kind of, out of our particular point of view.
Right.
But I didn't see any. But I do think that they're also kind of coming back in some sort of capacity.
Do they do shows now?
They do, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we actually saw a very long line for the Monsters Inc. laugh floor.
Oh, that's back too.
Yeah, but I think that was because I don't think that they were letting too many people wait inside. I think it was more of an outside queue type of thing, because it was backed up all the way over to the bridge by the castle. So I think it was probably more of we're just going to have this queue to be outside for the most part.
That is very cool. I know. I think for me, one of the big pieces that I felt bad about when in relation to the Monsters Inc. laugh floor, I thought it was gone for good, because didn't they either furlough or fire Mike and Sully?
So I know a lot of them were either furloughed or whatever, but they've started to bring a lot of them back also.
Yeah. And you got to remember, I mean, these guys have made a ton of money from the movies and some of the meet and greets at the parks, but for the most part, I mean, they don't really have everyday jobs.
Well, they were. It was for a while. They were. It was tough for them to get the new company on board. They did a whole documentary on it. That's on Plus now. Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta see this. That's
incredible. Yeah, it's called Monsters at Work.
Wow, I have to. Hold on, you son of a gun. You son of a gun. Does that actually exist?
There's actually a TV show that's Monsters at Work. It's a Monsters Inc. show. Yeah.
You're just being you're being a jokester like myself.
No. I mean, I was going into it with it. But yeah, no, so it basically, the TV show takes off the day after Monsters Inc. the movie.
That is cool.
Yeah. So, and then it kind of goes from there. And one of the other main characters is basically like this guy that had just accepted a job for Monsters Inc. because he was like the top scarer in his class and all of this stuff. And then he shows up to work and everybody's like, yeah, we're not scaring anymore. So sorry, bud. Like, we don't have a job for you. Like, if there is a more 2020, like if there is a more pandemic show of somebody struggling with work and trying to find their place in the world, that's it.
That is so funny. The other piece, I guess, so when you got there, you said the crowds had been the crowds were bad. So were the wait times off? Because was this your first time? I know you've been to some of the other parks, but is this your first time going to Magic Kingdom without any sort of ability to do? Because Fast Pass is now gone, right?
Yeah, so they are gone, but they've been replaced by the Lightning Lane.
Oh.
And the Lightning Lane is up and running.
And so what do you do with that?
So the Lightning Lane is something that you have to purchase, much like any other theme park's equivalent of Fast Pass. But the difference is you can do one of two things. You can either pay per ride, or you can get one that's a little bit more, where you can start making multiple selections.
Gotcha. Interesting. So it's like free though.
It's not free.
It's not free.
Yeah, that's the thing. But because it's kind of the on the flip side, like, yeah, it's not free and it's still not expensive. But it's more expensive than free was. But because of that, the lines weren't too bad, because ever since they've gone away with Fast Pass, the lines have definitely gone down. Between when we went to Epcot, when we went to Animal Kingdom, the lines were all pretty severely reduced. It was just the lines were on par because there were so many people in the park.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, we getting a cameo.
I'm having a cameo. Say hi, Dakota.
Hi.
So she's down to the screen here.
Yeah.
But I had heard when it came to some of the pieces of if you're an annual pass holder, you don't even get Lightning for free. That is crazy. So you really there's like no choice. You've got to be there when the park drop, when rope drop happens.
So The thing is that, from what we saw, the park was very crowded, but I wouldn't necessarily say that the wait times equaled how busy the park was. We waited maybe about an hour for the mine train, and that was the longest wait time that they had.
The mine train. So that. How many rides do you feel like all told did you go
on? So we went on a few. I'm trying to remember now what we actually went on, but most of like Buzz Lightyear was maybe 40 minutes. The longest wait that we didn't wait for was the People Mover, because they were like, oh, it's probably going to be about 20 minutes.
Gotcha.
So we were like, no, like as much as I love the People Mover, if it's not where I can go right up the ramp, I'm not going to go on it.
Yeah. Yeah, the People Mover, I think 20 minutes, I feel like it's hard. I feel like that would go quick, though, because it's constantly moving.
It is, but so the problem with the People Mover is that it tends to stop every so often. So if it stops, that's a big process to get it going again. So it can have that kind of ripple effect.
And with the shows, do they do like Mickey's show now?
From what we saw, it didn't look like they were doing anything in front of the castle, because I think anywhere where you have a congregation of people that can be close together and jam-packed in like that, they're not going to do that. That's why they're not doing parades, like big actual parades anymore or anything like that.
Fireworks either, right?
They are doing fireworks, though.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because they're doing fireworks.
Yeah. We did not stay for the new show. We were a little pooped and overwhelmed a little bit. So we decided to kind of make a break for it, but right before the fireworks.
Oh, interesting. So what time did you guys end up arriving, I guess, at Magic Kingdom?
We got there around 11.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, no. And the thing is that, like, we were like, we really don't want to do rope drop. We don't have to be there, because it's like, we were going just to go. It wasn't like we had a mission to go or, anything like that. We're not going for a party or anything like that. So it was more of like, whatever we get on, and we're not going to sweat missing anything.
Right. Yeah. And you guys recently did get your annual pass?
Yeah. So we just got that. We were actually able to be grandfathered into the old pass that we had, the gold pass.
Oh, awesome.
But they don't have that anymore. So now they have different names for all the different passes. So there's one that is an equivalent more or less to ours. So we're probably going to go with that when we have to renew and all that. But there's no gold pass anymore.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's not too bad.
No. The downside is so as a Florida resident or as a Disney Vacation Club owner, you do have access to all of the different passes that everybody else doesn't. The only pass for non-Florida resident, non-DVC members is obviously the most expensive one. But the flip side being it doesn't have any blackout dates.
Oh, you don't have any blackout dates?
So we do.
Oh, God.
I'm saying for example, if you were to get an annual pass, you would have to get the Disney Incredipass.
Okay.
And that one is over $1,000. It's $1,100 plus tax.
Wow. I'll never forget. This is kind of related, but not at all related. But similarly, our good friend Mr. Toby had gotten a season pass for the Mets, and I think it was a 20-game pack. And when our other friend Dave had seen Toby at the game, Toby had said, "I got this amazing deal for the Mets season tickets for 20 games." And Dave said, "Oh, how much was the games?" He said, $1,400. And Dave said, "I mean, I'm not even necessarily sure that's a good deal." And he's like, "You're paying for the games, and that's what you're doing." But it is what it is. But with that, I mean, that $1,100, but you're paying it off over time.
So I'm not sure if as a Florida resident we can do a payment plan. I'm not sure if you can do a payment plan for the Incredipass.
Oh, interesting.
That was something that you would have to look into. It's so for us, it starts with the Pixie Dust Pass. But that is basically a weekdays plus blockouts. So you can only go on certain weekdays, which it wouldn't be so bad for us, but I'm pretty sure it's blocked out like over the summer and stuff too. But that one's only like a little over $300. It's about $339 plus tax. Yeah, so that one, if like somebody like my mom, that would be a great one for her because she can go whenever she wants, basically.
And that's not available in Florida.
No, that's only for Florida residents. There are other ones that are if you're a Florida resident or DVC member, you can take part in. Yeah. But the lowest two are only for Florida residents.
And that makes total sense because you think about it, $300, you're staying there. If you go to a park for a week, it's much more than $300.
Oh, yeah. Like probably, I think maybe 3 days and you're paid for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, unless, if you're out from out of town, it doesn't pay for you to get the $1,100. But if you're going 2-3 times to Disney at the end of the year, it absolutely does pay for you to get the annual pass, even at $1,100.
Yeah. Well, so what a lot of people will do is for the Incredipass, even if you only do once a year, what you do is you work it out so that your first time that you go is, week 1. And then when you're just about to expire, you go your second time. Even though you're going in 2 separate years, you're still going under 1 year for the pass. So that'll make it worth it because those 2 times, yeah, you paid for the pass.
Right. Interesting. That's really cool. Another one of the things that I guess I'd ask here is which attraction do you feel like, during this time, since it's your first time being there in years, that you were most excited to get on?
It's always like which one is like more of the thing is with Magic Kingdom, I feel like all of the rides are nostalgia rides. I'm not going, to feel the thrills or anything like that. Right. But I think still probably my favorite, the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart is the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, did you guys get to go on that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best. Right around this time of year, too, you've got to do it.
Yeah, and then, it's always one of those, like, anytime we go on the Halloween party, you got to go. And, it's like that, Pirates of the Caribbean, the Buzz Lightyear ride is kind of a different kind of nostalgia for me because I used to work there. So.
Attractions? You go on all of those attractions when you went?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. You guys got a lot of good ones in there.
Yeah. I mean, it was, one of those things where we got to pick and choose. So we didn't do Space Mountain because Space Mountain was a little bit longer than we wanted it to be. But I mean, and we didn't do Splash Mountain because it was just hot enough to be not hot, like to be like, all right, we're wearing, shorts and t-shirts, but like not hot enough where we want to be soaked the rest of the
day. When it comes to Space Mountain, just so I get this clear, you're telling me that it might be the oldest ride in the park with the longest line in the park. Woo!
No. Because it's not the oldest ride in the park.
No, I know, but that's always just the expression. That's how it is.
Yeah, but from a particular person that we're not going to really talk about anymore.
Yeah, but I couldn't help myself. But yeah, Splash Mountain, it's probably one of your last times you'll be able to ride it before it transitions over, right?
Yeah, and then so, wait, what do you mean transition?
Aren't they taking it and making it more of a Princess and the Frog theme?
So Splash Mountain, yes. Yeah. I thought you were talking Space Mountain was also getting transitioned.
I wish they had made that a full transition to the Star Wars. What was that one called?
It was, wasn't it like Cyberspace Mountain or something? But I think that was only at Disneyland.
I got you, yeah. But I wish they had done if they made
that. Yeah, definitely.
That was really cool. I don't know. I mean, I get why they don't do it because they have a Star Wars land, so it kind of would screw things up to have the random Star Wars. Like I Lightyear attraction, but I do think with they should somehow kind of move that over to the Toy Story Land that they have. It's weird that it exists in its own realm over there, even though it's fine to have it a part of Tomorrowland. It's still a little tricky, so I guess that's probably one of the reasons they don't. But yeah, Splash Mountain I think is transitioning to a Princess and the Frog attraction.
It is, yeah. So I don't know when exactly. That kind of announcement happened I think like pre-COVID. Yeah. So I think that the plan for that was probably put on hold for however long.
Right. And that makes sense. And I remember when I first heard about that, I was a little bit nostalgic. I obviously, it's insane to me that they still have an attraction after Songs of the South, that it took so long for them to finally go, why do we still have this? If you love Zippity Doodah so much, you could clearly play it, and I'm sure they will probably play it as a part of the Princess and the Frog attraction. But certainly when I see Princess and the Frog, I thought, oh, this is great. This is going to be a great new attraction over there.
Yeah, and I mean, they've done it before where they've, had to either remove rides or retheme rides or whatever the case is, and they've still left, little Easter eggs of the original attractions somewhere in the regular area. So
yeah, when you go to the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, if you take a look at some of the areas over there, you can find a nice picture of Mr. Toad, for example.
Yep, handing over the deed to the land.
Yes, which is very cool. And I love stuff like that. So I'm sure they'll have something there. But overall, what would you say, I guess, the highlight of your, as we wind down here, the highlight of your trip to the Magic Kingdom?
Honestly, I would say the highlight was going around and kind of going on a little bit of a scavenger hunt to find all of the different 50th anniversary statues.
Oh, that's really cool. Did you find them all?
We found a bunch. We didn't find all of them, but there's a bunch right in the hub, that kind of central area right in front of the castle. There's a bunch there, and then there's also a few like scattered all throughout the lands. Like there's a Mad Hatter one next to the teacups. There's a few other ones that are in other parts of the park. And
do you feel like you'll be going? Is your plan to go back there? Again before the end of the 50th?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we have plans late January, early February, because we have family coming down, so we'll probably go with them there. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler, and hopefully the crowds will be a little bit, more reduced. But aside from that, it was a pretty good trip.
When you guys, so the 50th goes on all of next year as well?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just till the end.
No, when they do an anniversary like this, when they do a party, they'll go all out.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Well, anything? You said you had been on a couple of the different attractions, and your favorite you think was the Haunted Mansion there. When it came to riding the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, how was it being back? Because you guys don't typically wait on the lines very long. How was it waiting on an hour-long line?
It was okay. The thing is, like, because we weren't in a rush or anything like that, we were just kind of, we were actually looking at plans about, like, what are we going to do ordering lunch, and where are we going to do all this stuff. So the new app that they have, it's the sorry about that. The Genie service type of thing, really has been making it easy to either make plans and to be able to like customize and suggest things. One of the kind of good things that has come out of everything that's happened over the past year and a half, almost 2 years now, is beforehand with Amanda's gluten allergy, you really were limited as to how much mobile ordering you could do. But they've now done it where it's like 90% mobile ordering. So they've added a lot of features into the mobile ordering packages. So that was a lot easier for us to do.
Yeah, no, that's great. Where did you guys end up eating?
We ended up eating at Pecos Bills.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So
that's not the one that's attached to that's Pinocchio's that's attached to Small World.
Yep.
One of my
we were thinking about that one, but we wound up going with Pecos Bills, and it's got like all the Tex-Mex stuff, so you can get like fajitas, and I got like carnitas tacos, and Amanda got a salad, and so it was good.
Oh, that's very cool. Was there any attraction you guys went on that you were surprised you went on? Like you normally would not typically go on that attraction, and you ended up on? Mine
Train. But only because we, normally Mine Train has such a long line that we're like, we don't want to wait on this just for that. But, we were like, you know what? Like, it's only an hour. We don't, we don't have anything else to do. Like, we got time to kill. And I actually think that not having fast passes has also opened up your day a little bit more, because it used to be where it was kind of like, all right, well, if we have this fast pass that's coming up, we don't want to get on this hour line because what if we miss our fast pass time?
Right.
So not having those kinds of plans actually made it better, and we were able to plan more, not having other plans.
Yeah. That's the bag. Yep. Yeah, one of the things that I had, I always remember is that video we have of us flying through the Magic Kingdom, like running. I think it's on my WrestleMania 33 vlog on my wrestling channel, and we're rushing and huffing and puffing because we had like 2 minutes left to catch our first fast pass because we had it first thing in the morning. So yeah, that could relate. Like that is not the greatest of feelings, to say the least.
Yeah, and I think like that, you know, that's kind of the theme that we've had when we went to Epcot a couple of times. We almost walked right onto Soarin' both times that we went on the past 2 times. Test Track was a little bit of a wait, but that was because there was weather and stuff. But it still wasn't a long wait. And, you know, when we went to Animal Kingdom, we walked pretty much right onto Expedition Everest. It was maybe a 15-20 minute wait for Avatar for the Flight of Passage. Like, you can't beat that.
No, absolutely. That's pretty great. Well, I know that there was another thing that happened while you were on this trip, but we will hold off on telling that, leave it as a cliffhanger for maybe one of our future episodes. But it's so great to be back here on Disney 101. It's great to hear that you had such a great time on your trip to Magic Kingdom. And we are going to have so much more stuff, more fun things planned here during the summer. Over the last couple of months, Steve and I have been all over the world, whether it be to the Nickelodeon Resort in the Dominican Republic, to Dolly World in Tennessee. Tons of great stories and trips will be being brought here to the channel. But anything you'd like to say or wrap up here on Magic Kingdom? As clearly I'm on borrowed time.
Well, you know what? I think it's best left unsaid, and we'll see you real soon.
All right. Sounds good, everyone. Thanks so much for checking us out. And let us know how you enjoyed your first trip back to the world post-pandemic. And it's just so great to hear that we're finally able to get back over there. Until next time, everyone, I have a little dad life waiting for me, and I will see you all again in the next episode.